problem embracing and uniting with our brothers and sisters so that we can truly help our people. But if all you know how to do is open your mouth and say negative things about the nation, but not say anything about this same damn enemy who was killing you, killing me, killing us, killing all of our leaders who have been murdered by them, then you are a goddamn hypocrite. You are weak, you are spineless, and you don't want to fall into the ranks. Shut your damn mouth. Help the people. Help the people. Help the people. You don't have to attack another black organization to help the people. That makes no sense. You can't attack black people to help black people. You can't attack a black organization to help black people. You don't talk about the KKK. You don't talk about any of these organizations, any of these groups, any of these politicians, any of these white people saying all of these negative things, any of these police officers, police chiefs, etc. Donald Trump saying all of these racist things. You say nothing to them, nothing about them. But you have all the balls to say something about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You have all the balls to say something about Brother Rizza Islam. You have all the balls to say something about members of the Nation of Islam. You have all the balls to say something about us because we have been merciful. And I say merciful because our energy is set on separation from this enemy, liberation of our people, unity among our people, and fighting against this demonic system of white supremacy if they choose to come against us, uniting, separating, and being liberated. That is what we are about. We are not about attacking our own people. That is not what we are about, but you Negroes are. Some of you Negroes who act as though you are doing something for the people, you ain't doing a goddamn thing. You a social media gangster. But if it comes to being in the real world, where Brother Rizza Islam is, where the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is, where all of the members of the Nation of Islam are, you will learn to respect those who are actually doing the work. We didn't start no damn work on social media. Brother Rizza didn't start on social media. And I do apologize if some of y'all got that misconception thinking that, oh, Brother Rizza is a social media activist. No. Let me clear this up for you. Brother Rizza Islam started in the street. Brother Rizza Islam still is in the street. Yes, started in the street, stay in the street. Why? Because my people are in the street. I brought what I do in real life and brought it onto social media. That is what we do. Why? Because it is modern technology. So I have to still get to my people one way or another, in the street as well as on social media. But let me go back to clearing this up, and I pray you are recording this. Every one of you Negroes who open your mouth about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will be checked. Every single one of you. And I say this respectfully. Respectfully disagree if you disagree. There is no problem with disagreeing. We never have a problem with anyone disagreeing. But I will say this to you. You will respect the work that is being done. You will respect the work that is being done because the people are dying literally every day. And all you want to do is divide? Some of you niggas are those who would have sold.
There you go. Some of you niggas.
As a matter of fact, some of you Negroes have the same mentality as the agents who had black faces who were working up among Brother Malcolm. You don't know a damn thing of what you speak. You know nothing of what you speak. If the files of the FBI have not been released dealing with the murder of Brother Malcolm, how in the hell can you factually say anything? Oh, Minister Farrakhan said, well, if we would have dealt with him the way, a nation would deal with traitors, what the hell business is it of yours? Yes, he is 100% correct. What the hell business is it of yours back then? He was talking about a man who was his mentor. Brother Malcolm was a student of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. You will never, ever say that you love Brother Malcolm X without loving the man who taught him. Before meeting the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was Malcolm Little. As a matter of fact, he was Detroit Red. He was a pimp. He was a hustler. He was a thief. He was a drug dealer, a drug user. Ate pork, had sex with lots of white women. That's the life he was living. He was a mentally dead Negro. Then when he got arrested and got brought to prison, it was a brother, an FOI, Fruit of Islam, military soldier in the Nation of Islam under the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who resurrected Brother Malcolm. Then when Brother Malcolm got out of prison, it was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad who was teaching him, helping to raise him up out of the condition of being a nigger that the white man made him into. Since you want to give real credit where credit is due, you're going to give it all the way. Stop talking about things that you don't know. And this is not emotion. I'm warning those of you Negroes with platforms. I'm warning you and I'm helping you because the enemy is watching what you say. The enemy is watching what you say. Some of you think that, oh, we cool and everything is comfortable and the government ain't coming after nobody. No. They have a very cunning, conniving, slick way of recording what you say and looking at what you do and spying on you. Nothing has changed. It has only evolved. And if you think that speaking against the Nation of Islam, against the Hebrew Israelites, against the Moorish Science Temple, against any one of the black organizations doing their best to help the people in the best way they feel they can, you are doing nothing but serving the enemy's agenda, and you ain't doing a damn thing to help us as a people. You are a hypocrite. You are a fool. You are an idiotic, asinine individual who is a court jester, a stepping fidget Negro working for the white man, and I'll say the white man. You're working for him. Who in the hell willingly fights against their own people? You act as though you have a whole nation that you can go to right now. You act as though the police ain't after all of us. You act as though the FBI is not monitoring all of us. You acting like the CIA is not monitoring all of us. You acting like you got some free pass. Because some of you are agents and some of you do work for the United States government. Just like Eugene Roberts worked for the United States government, who was Brother Malcolm's security guard. Eugene Roberts, how about we start pulling receipts? Everybody go on YouTube, the interview with Eugene Roberts. And hear what he says about the assassination of Brother Malcolm X. He lied a lot too. But listen to what he said. Then go and listen to Dr. Ali, who broke down thoroughly how the Nation of Islam did not murder Malcolm X. Then go and YouTube Dick Gregory, who was a good friend of Brother Malcolm X, who was on the phone with him the day before he died. And you YouTube what Dick Gregory has to say about it. YouTube Brother Malcolm's daughter on Vlad TV. Go on YouTube, the Vlad TV interview with Sister Ilyasa Shabazz, Brother Malcolm's daughter, who says that the members of the Nation of Islam were not the shooters. They were not the shooters. See, you ignorant niggas who help this government are going to be checked. Every single one of you. I have been very lenient. I have been soft. I have been patient enough with you, but it is 2019 and I'll be damned if this same lie continues to be spewed over and over and over and over again, and you try to come back and perpetuate it just like this enemy wants you to perpetuate it. And by the way, when Brother Rizza is saying you'll be checked, everything I'm saying right now on this live, I will say it to you in person, lovingly as your brother. I have no problem saying this to you in person. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. You can say whatever you want to say. But if I confront you in person and I say, prove your statement, and if you cannot prove your statement, then shut your damn mouth. Stop lying. Stop perpetuating lies. Stop working for the white man indirectly or directly. Stop being on the CIA's and FBI's payroll. Some of you who are on Instagram, some of you who are on YouTube. How is it that many of your pages have not been shut down, but you've been saying a lot of the same things that I and many of us have been saying, but our posts get taken down, but yours won't get taken down? How? Who do you work for? Who do you work for really? See, I wanted to do this so that everybody can understand there's a far greater game to what is going on. This is the anniversary of Brother Malcolm X El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz being assassinated. This is the anniversary. And it is not because, oh, he found out about... See, all the things you heard were lies. You want to talk about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and his wives? Yes, wives. He didn't have no girlfriends. He had wives. That is permissible. That is allowed, not only in Islam, but that is permissible and allowed in traditional African culture. Polygamy, having more than one wife, is allowed in traditional African culture. That is not what we promote in the Nation of Islam. We make this very clear. We don't promote that. However, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a purpose for why he did that. The women that he had around him, they agreed to marry him. Yes, this is not something far-fetched. This is traditional African culture, but that is what he did. And that is what he did. Okay, go in YouTube. Elijah Muhammad's wives speak. All the receipts will be pulled for you Negroes who talk. The wives of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said all the truth. YouTube the video of them. YouTube it. You can see them say everything for themselves. You don't need some middleman person on YouTube trying to say anything negative about the Nation of Islam, while at the same time these niggas are not in the street helping people. And I'm saying niggas. I'm going to say Negro. Do you understand? I will say Negro.
Nope, keep calling them niggas.
Okay, and let me also clear up the last lie. No, it is not because Brother Malcolm X Al-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz went to Mecca in Arabia and saw white people praying and worshiping together with black people, and he said, oh, Elijah Muhammad must have been lying. White people can go to Mecca. Excuse me. Those of you who do not have this type of knowledge, listen carefully, please. Do not allow people with lots of followers, lots of subscribers, lots of views to manipulate the way you think. Do not allow them to do that, because you will make a fool out of yourself along with them. There are specific individuals who have been saying things. Brother Malcolm went to Mecca, yes. He did not go before the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Point number one. Point number two, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching white Muslims all the time around his table. So no, it's not because Brother Malcolm went and saw white people praying with Arabs. Stop it. You damn liars. Stop it. You damn liars. Stop it. The difference is today, you never thought there would be some young brothers who will come at you the way Dr. Wesley has defended the nation in debates, the way Brother Nuri Muhammad has defended the nation in debates, the way many of our scholars, Brother Dr. Khalid Muhammad, have defended the nation in debates. You never thought you would see young brothers in this generation coming at you for spitting the same damn lies that have been perpetuated for so long ago. Stop it. You will face me in person, and you will have to prove everything that you're saying. It's not Brother Rizza that has to prove whether or not you're lying. It's you who has to prove whether or not you are telling the truth. And you are a liar. And I'm saying that to every single one of you who do this. Every one of you. None of you are off limits. Ever. Not one of you. Big, small, celebrity, regular brother, so-called conscious brother, dude in the hood, whatever. You are not off limits. So let me finish the point that I was making. Brother Malcolm X went to Mecca. He did not go before the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Point number one. Point number two, everything that Brother Malcolm X El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz learned of high sciences, he learned from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You cannot have love for Brother Malcolm X without loving the man who helped to resurrect, mold, and teach him, which is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You want to give credit for real? Then give credit where it's due. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, without him, there would be no Malcolm X. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, without him, there would be no Khalid Muhammad. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, without him, there would be no the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, without him, there would be no Black Panther Party. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there would be no virtually any conscious community entirely. Let's be very clear. Give credit where it's due. It's not going down no more. I warn all of you. And I pray that you send this video to any one of these Negroes who open their mouth and say whatever they want to say. And number two, Brother Malcolm, when he went to Mecca, yes, he prayed with white people. Yeah, but he also once again saw the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaching white people all the time. Let's make that very clear. Number two, when he got back from Mecca, on his way to Mecca, when he went to Egypt, ancient Kemet, he was poisoned in Egypt, Brother Malcolm. And what did he say? The people who poisoned me are not members of the Nation of Islam. They are not members of the Nation of Islam. The people who poisoned me are not members of the Nation of Islam. I just want to make that very clear so that those of you who have heard anything about this from any one of these washed up backwater lying Negroes. And when I say lying Negroes, there's a number of them who, put it this way, For those of you who do not have this type of knowledge, you are easily manipulated. Brothers and sisters, you are easily manipulated. I'm not speaking just as an FOI, just as a follower of Farrakhan, just as a member of the Nation of Islam. I'm speaking as a black man. I'm speaking as a brother from the hood, from Compton, California. Stay on code, man. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. You don't want people to lie on you. So why do you lie on them? It's one of the worst things to do, to be a black man lying on black men. Didn't you learn that from Jussie Smollett? Didn't you learn that? To be a black man and lying on other black men, and be a black man and lying on other black women? What is the matter with you? You want to be this close to your enemy so bad that you are willing to perpetuate the same lies that have been debunked over and over again. Well, I will tell you something. You keep lying, you keep joining your enemy, and you keep doing the same things that your enemy has been doing. You keep joining in with your enemy. You keep doing the same thing that your enemy is out here perpetuating on our people, and you will end up in the same place as this enemy. You're going to end up, along with him, a loser. Every single one of you. I don't need to say certain names. Y'all already know who I'm talking about. There's a number of people. There's more than one. One of them just commented on one of my posts. A brother who I have faith in. But the difference is you didn't know me. You didn't know me. And you might want to YouTube the recent debate that I had, if anyone has questions dealing with Scientology. The debate dealing with Scientology. Click the link in my bio, and you will see right there where it says Rizza Islam debate dealing with the Nation of Islam and Scientology. Watch that debate. Because when you have the actual facts, when you have the facts, it's cool. You're not rubbing me the wrong way. I know the truth. And I know the truth about you. Every one of you people who say the negative things about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and say the negative things about the Nation of Islam, every one of you got some nasty dirt. Every one of you are doing something negative to our people. Every one of you are manipulating and abusing and misusing our people for some agenda that you have. And you are trying to invoke the death of Brother Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, to try to prove your disgusting point. You are a goddamn demon. You are a devil. Because only a devil will do something so wicked. Only a devil would do something so wicked. And I'm disappointed in many of you. I'm only saying this so that we can all get on the same page here. Let's be very careful. Last point here, I'm going to say that probably one more time. Any of you who open your mouth again, and I'm saying this to everybody who watches my channel, who watches all of my networks, whoever you see with influence, whoever you see of influence, whoever you see who talks about they are fighting for our people, they are doing things to liberate our people, they are doing things to help our people to come into a better condition, they're fighting against this enemy, etc., etc. This is what I want you to do. I want you to message me whatever post that they post saying the Nation of Islam killed Brother Malcolm. I'm not saying somebody with 100 followers, or even 1,000 or 5,000 followers. I'm saying someone who has influence. People with influence. Because I'm checking all of y'all who are up here lying, putting on a front as though you are helping the people when you ain't doing a damn thing to help the people. Sharing a post and making videos about white supremacy is not really helping the people. Being in the street is helping them. Creating programs, uniting organizations, bringing them solutions. That's helping the people. Get in the dirt with them. Help them to get food and clothing and shelter. That is helping the people. That's what I've been doing for nearly 20 years. You ain't doing that? You ain't doing that? You think that sharing some posts is helping the people? No, it's a part of it, yes. Talking is a part of it, yes. But those of you who are the talkers, I'm saying the talkers here. The talkers. Shut your damn mouth and start doing more work. Close your mouth. Get out in the street and do more work. Close your damn mouth and do the work. The reason why I can talk is because I do the work and have been doing the work years before I was talking. You better learn about Brother Rizza Islam. Learn about members of the Nation of Islam. Learn about the real Moors who've been out here in the street. Learn about the 5%ers. Learn about the Hebrew Israelites who have been doing the work, creating schools, helping to get jobs. Learn about these black organizations, the Black Panthers, who have been doing things for our people, sincerely doing things for our people. Learn about them. You notice how I'm not dividing? Did you hear my language? Learn about the Nawabian family. Learn about these brothers and sisters and organizations that are truly doing something for the people. Learn about the good Christian churches, the good ones, who are providing services to the people, who teach that Jesus is black and who teach the true history. Learn about these good Muslim brothers who are in the community, really helping. Learn about them. Learn about them. Stop talking. Brother Rizza Islam is here to unite the melanated families, unite the soldiers on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If you disagree with him, that's fine. You can disagree, but you need to respect, just like I gave respect to all of you. I give respect to all of my brothers and sisters and all these groups, the Native American brothers and sisters who help and do work in the streets. There's a lot of them who I roll with because they help us to get jobs, my brothers. I got a bunch of Native brothers and sisters who call me whenever they have 30 jobs available, 20 jobs available, 60 jobs. Brother Rizza's time, we got 60 jobs for brothers and sisters. If they have felony records, it doesn't matter. We can help them to get this job. That's the damn work you got to be doing. Shut your damn mouth. Some of you have no discipline and you think you can talk so loosely online and that you won't get checked in person. And there are too many people in prison, in the street, in these religious organizations who will hurt you. Because the Minister Farrakhan, in their words, will tell you that that man saved my life. They'll tell you. They'll tell you that just hearing what Minister Farrakhan said woke them up, taught them and made them stop drinking, made them stop womanizing, made them stop murdering, made them stop killing, made them stop sniffing cocaine, and made them stop shooting up heroin, made them stop murdering their brother and sister. You need to know who you are talking about. Know what you are talking about. Know that if you are not speaking out against this enemy and fighting for the liberation of our people through the unification of our people and the separation from this enemy, you are absolutely working for the enemy. Every one of you. Keep my name out of your mouth. Brother Rizza Islam is not going to hold no punches anymore. If any of you who have major platforms, open your mouth again. Any one of you. I have been very, very, very lenient. I've been very, as I said, I've been very patient. Very patient. And this has nothing to do with being physical. I'm not talking about physically fighting you because, to be very frank, we don't want to go there. This energy that I got is reserved for the enemy. This fighting, fierce, lion spirit is reserved for the enemy. That's who it's supposed to be for. It's not supposed to be for my brother. I'm not supposed to want to kill my own brother. I'm not supposed to talk about attacking my own brother. I'm not supposed to talk about fighting my own brother. I'm not supposed to be talking about hitting my own brother. Nigga, I'm going to beat you up. Hey, whoa. I thought you was a black man. The Pan-African brothers and sisters. Them too. I roll with them. We family. We are all family. We family. I'm not into this division crap. You miss me with the division crap. Get up out of here. Anybody speaking division ain't rolling with us. Anybody speaking division among the original people is not for the original people. Mark my words when I say this. Any one of you, those of you who saying that Minister Farrakhan sold out to Scientology. Ooh, we thought Brother Rizza was going to run from this. Let me correct you. I have been studying the technology of Scientology for almost 20 years. And in the debate video, I think I said 16 years at one point, and then I said 20 at another. So let me make it very clear. 20 years. Number one, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been offered billions of dollars, possibly even trillions from multiple countries. He has been offered bags, sacks, rugs full of gold, silver, rubies, diamonds, cash money, and has turned it down and has told them to no, take that back. This man has been given the ability to have access to oil, sugar, all of these different things. Minister Farrakhan has been given billions upon billions, billions in offers by kings, queens of multiple nations on this earth. Minister Farrakhan in the Middle East was deputized by Colonel Muammar Gaddafi as one of the generals over more than 45 Islamic nations. You need to know who the hell you are talking about. This is not a joke. It's not a game. And I don't want anyone on here to think that, oh, we can just talk and ain't nothing gonna happen. No. Brother Rizza, Islam ain't gonna do nothing to you. Members of the Nation of Islam ain't gonna do nothing to you. But we are trying to protect you because there are people who are not in the Nation of Islam who will hurt you because they love that man. And they love the work that we do because we have saved millions of them. You have to be careful. You have to be careful when you are speaking like this. You have to be careful when you wish death upon Minister Farrakhan. You have to be careful when you are saying Minister Farrakhan got Malcolm X murdered and assassinated. No. That's absolutely not true. You have to be careful when you say, man, F that mother F, I hope he died. Be careful. And once again, I say be careful because those of us in the Nation of Islam, we ain't gonna put our hands on you, like I said. All this energy is for the enemy. See, we're real about ours, right? We're real about ours. Unlike many of you who talk, who have influence, many of you who have platforms, many of you who have lots of followers, many of you who have lots of subscribers, many of you who get lots of views on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and the like, all across the board, including Facebook. Many of you run your damn mouth. Your mouth will not be able to save you. You need to stop before something happens because you can't. They're going to try to blame it on members of the Nation of Islam. That's why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. I'm telling you right now, they're going to try to blame it on members of the nation and say, well, y'all know they can't blame it on us because we're not out here hurting our own people. We're not out here doing that. That's not what we're doing. I'm just telling you straight. We're not out here doing that. But we will warn you. We will warn you. I'm only saying that to let you know. Chill out. So to end that point on Scientology, because some of you were wondering, I heard someone say that Minister Farrakhan sold out to Scientology for $3.2 million or $3.5 million. Let me tell you something about you, ignorant, asinine, idiotic individual. Minister Farrakhan has been offered billions upon hundreds of billions upon nearly trillions of dollars. Once again, I'm going to say this again to you. Billions upon hundreds of billions upon trillions even. Has been offered that much, and you're telling me the Nation of Islam sold out to the Church of Scientology that I have been studying for nearly 20 years. Once again, you ain't got no damn facts, and you can't tussle with me when it comes to this topic. So stop lying. 3.2 to 3.5 million is an insult in comparison to what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been offered by other groups, organizations, and nations. They have offered him billions that all he has to do is denounce the Honorable Minister Louis, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, stop teaching Elijah Muhammad, and only teach Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And he never sold out. He never took that. He said, no, I will never not teach the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. No, take your damn money. He said, I am not no whore for some money. Do you know how Minister Farrakhan is able to do what he does? We support him. The people, we do, the believers, we support him. Because whatever money we donate to the nation, what happens? It recirculates back into us. That's why we have independent farms. Where did that come from? The believers of the Nation of Islam. We paid to put the money up to get independent farms so that we can have our own food. Because if this government shuts down, the grocery store shut down, who's going to eat? How you going to eat? How you going to eat? All y'all niggas talk about Minister Farrakhan, how you gonna eat? You have any farms? Oh, then you gonna come to the nation and try to get some food from us? If these schools shut down, we have independent schools. Who put up the money? We did. Because we put the money into the Nation of Islam. Hello? Group economics, right? When We have independent farms. Yeah. Independent schools. Yeah. Independent businesses. Yeah. Security companies. Yeah. Who did that? We did. The believers in the Nation of Islam. Y'all want to talk. Minister Farrakhan sold out. No. You damn fool. Keep perpetuating and parroting and being a damn crash test dummy and a doll for this enemy. You keep saying the same stuff the white man is saying. Same system, white supremacy, saying the same thing. White supremacy says, hey, say Minister Farrakhan sold out Scientology. Okay, Minister Farrakhan sold out Scientology. You're a damn fool. Matter of fact, you're actually embarrassing. Many of you in the so-called conscious community, you're an embarrassment. You're actually one of the worst people on the planet because you waste the knowledge that you have and you use it in the wrong direction. You use it to beat up your own people rather than help your own people. You use it to beat up on your own people rather than to unite with your own people. You use it to perpetuate the enemy system rather than uniting with your own people to create your own system. You use it to beat up your own people rather than separating and creating something for your damn self. You're a joke. You're an insult to us as a community. You are an idiot, a willful idiot. And I know y'all like, man, Rizza, I never heard you speak like this. Yeah, I understand. I don't like speaking like this. However, I have to because many of those who have been saying all of these things are in my generation. So therefore, Minister Farrakhan is going after the enemy. He's going after Satan. Minister Farrakhan's calling Satan out. He's calling out the international bankers. He's calling out these so-called Jews. He's calling them out. Those who run the world, those who own the music and film industry, those who run politics, those who run the economics between countries and whole nations. He's calling them out. He's on that level. So he has to do that. He has to do that. We, on the other hand, however, we go after the little what's called dumb devils because there are too many young black people with white minds doing the bidding of white supremacy. Too many of you. So once again, I'm going to say this to all of you. Any of you who see anyone of influence saying negative things about Minister Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, or the nation killed Malcolm, nation sold out to Scientology, Minister Farrakhan killed Malcolm X, killed Khaled. Hey, I'm telling you. Some of you in the so-called conscious community give the white man a pass so much. You give them so much of a pass. You will not put the finger on the same goddamn... Because they just went ahead and deleted my entire live that I just did. Too much fire for them, and I understand. That's what Instagram does. So, I'm going to do a quick recap. Number one, anybody who was talking about the Nation of Islam, saying that Brother Malcolm X was murdered by the Nation of Islam, to say that Minister Farrakhan sold out, Minister Farrakhan is a clone, Minister Farrakhan is a government agent, Brother Malcolm X was better than Minister Farrakhan, and all of this stupidity. All of this stupidity. You are only demonstrating that the enemy has you. You are only demonstrating that you work for the enemy. You are only demonstrating that his divisive agenda is working. That's very plain and simple. You're demonstrating that divide and conquer still works. You're not saying anything good. You're not coming up with ideas and saying, you know what, hey, I see y'all in the Nation of Islam doing something that I don't agree with here. Let me help you to do it better, or let me help you to do it this way, or let me help you. You don't want to come and unite with us. You don't want to come and at least give us advice. We are never above criticism. We don't mind being critiqued. That's okay. But the moment you start saying you wish death upon Minister Farrakhan, and Minister Farrakhan got Brother Malcolm murdered, and that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad got Brother Malcolm murdered, even though the FBI files have not been released, so not one of you damn ignorant individuals have ever read them because they're not out, you will be checked. Every single one of you have a level of influence. Every single one of you who have a level of influence. You are on social media, and I can tell who was made by social media. Let me say this again. You are on social media, and I can tell who was made by social media and who was not made by the streets and who was in the street. because you say things on social media that if you were to say them in person, you would get punched in your damn mouth. I'm going to say this again. Most of you with influence on social media, you know you were made by social media because you say things so loosely, ignorantly, horrifically, and I mean horrifically disrespectful. I'm not saying disagreeing is a problem. You can disagree, of course. That's perfectly fine. But when you start to disrespect, then you start to wish death on people. Then you start to say, yeah, we're going to chop them niggas' heads off. People have said this about Minister Farrakhan, about members of the Nation of Islam, just think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. And by the way, if you have said things like this and your videos are still up, then that means that the CIA or FBI is who you work for because you have issued threats, but your video has not been taken down. So that lets us know who the hell you work for, you stupid damn informant, you agent informant. Issuing threats on video is an absolute flag. For net neutrality laws, they flag it and they take it down. But if your video is still up after issuing threats saying that you want someone to die, then what does that mean? You're a part of the FBI or the CIA or one of these organizations. So I'm going to mention, I'll say this. I just saw a comment on my page by Shaka Bars. Please send this to him. I thought highly of brother. Didn't know much about him because I'm too busy working with the people in the street. I don't know where he's from. I don't know where he is now. I don't know where he resides. I don't know much about his work, but the knowledge that I did have of his work, or that I do have, I respect the work that I do know that he's done. However, let me say this, Mr. Shaka Bars. I'm a brother from the street, and I will say this to you clearly, succinctly, honestly, and humbly. Keep your mouth shut. This is from your brother. Because you do not know, first of all, you're not a soldier. Number one, you're not a soldier. If the revolution broke out tomorrow, you couldn't help the people. See, this is another thing I want you to understand. Do not comment on soldiers' affairs. Don't open your mouth about Brother Malcolm as though you followed him, as if you follow what he taught, which is what he learned from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as if you are a member of the Nation of Islam and are in the same class that he was in, that I am in, that we are in. Do not open your mouth like you did in my comment section, and I pray you didn't delete the comments so everyone who's watching can know, okay, Brother Rizza not just popping off for no reason. No, what you said specifically in my comment section, and by the way, once again, I had respect for you. You, who was another one on my list, Young Pharaoh. Ooh, I know something like, oh, let me say this again. Those of you on social media, you were made by social media. Once again, Brother Rizza is in the street. Young Pharaoh wished death upon Minister Farrakhan. He said he prays that his cancer eats him up alive. Yes, by the way, Minister Farrakhan has been fighting cancer for years. This man, Minister Farrakhan, is walking around with the majority of his lower intestines gone because the enemy implanted Minister Farrakhan with radiated seeds that burned up the inside of his lower intestine to where he had to have a large section of his intestines removed. He is a walking miracle. He has been under the attempt of being assassinated over 8 or 10 times. Minister Farrakhan, some of you who just talk and don't know what you're talking about. Young Pharaoh said, I wish death upon Minister Farrakhan. I pray that his cancer eats that nigga up alive and kills him. Young brother, Shaka Bars, Young Pharaoh, anybody who opens your damn mouth, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say it again. I had a conversation with Young Pharaoh over the phone, me, him, and Brother Ben. When he started saying things, I never knew who he was. That conversation was a very decent one. He was all nice and polite over the phone. He sounded like a real brother. over the phone. He agreed to do a video to apologize publicly. So we all got up there and did the video, and he started to renege on certain things. He started to say certain things that were different than what we agreed upon. See, now, brother, I'm pulling you out in public because I want you to understand something. Now you're dealing with the real soldiers in your generation because you thought you could pop off your damn mouth and no one would see it and no one would say anything. The elders are not going to say much to you because you are irrelevant. You're irrelevant. You're not helping the people. So far, from my understanding, there was a daycare that you were supposedly raising money for, about $16,000, and all of a sudden you said that the money went missing to pay for court fees that you had to go to court for. So you stole the people's money, just like many of the other people in the so-called conscious community. But you want to go and attack every group. You do not talk about the enemy. You do not go and say anything about the enemy. You do not unite with other groups. You talk about the Hebrew Israelites. You talk about the Moorish Science Temple. You talk about the Nation of Islam. You talk about every black organization, but you don't talk about none of the damn enemies. All of y'all niggas out here, I'm gonna say this to you, man. And I do apologize for the sisters who have their children watching my network. I apologize. This has to be said so that the young brothers and young sisters know that there is a real world out here, and they have to learn about how respect is given and taken and who the real enemy is. Number one, the real enemy is ignorance, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has stated, which is absolutely correct. The real enemy is our ignorance. Number two, the system of white supremacy. These are the true enemies. These are the enemies, not your own brother. Why would you wish death on a man? You say he sold out. Prove it, because all of your footage is a bunch of damn lies. If you got something to say it to us in person. Young Pharaoh, you're running from me. I'm going to say this again. You said you wouldn't put up any more videos of Minister Farrakhan. You did. After you agreed to that, you went and put up another video 2 months later with Sarah Sutanseti. I then responded in a video with Brother Malcolm Flex, and I destroyed every argument that y'all had. Because that's how sloppy and ignorant and stupid you are. You're a damn child, hence the name Young. Sarah Sutanseti has been running from the Nation of Islam ever since he lost the debate against Dr. Wesley Muhammad. He has lost, and he continues to talk, and Sarah Sutanseti said that we're going to chop off some of their heads. Talking about members of the Nation of Islam. You're threatening to kill people. Yet your channel is still up. But Brother Ben X's channel came down for hate speech. But you're talking about killing people on your channel. But your channel's still up. Who do you work for, Young Pharaoh? Now, you're dealing with an independent researcher. You're dealing with a real one now. Next point. After I responded to that video by doing a video with Malcolm Flex, after that video was done, you then did another video, part 2, with Sarah Sutanseti. And once again, you started to say things that these are outside of the laws of debate. You were saying things dealing with threatening people, killing people, Minister Farrakhan dying. That's not scholarship. That's not scholarship. That's not debating. That's not having a disagreement. That is not debating and dealing with education. That's dealing with murdering and killing people. So when you say this, what you are saying is, you want to harm physically people? Well, what I'm going to say to you is this. If you are wishing death upon people, that is why I then put up a Twitter post. I put up a Twitter post where I said, 1, Young Pharaoh, you have disqualified yourself for a debate from me. You have disqualified yourself for a debate. So I said, number 1, you are going to do these 3 things. 1, issue a formal video apology for what you have said about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, Moorish Science Temple, about attacking all the black organizations and not saying virtually anything about the enemy. You're going to issue an apology on video and put it on your YouTube. Number 2, you are going to take down the videos dealing with the lies about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, dealing with the lies about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, dealing with these lies. These are the things you're going to do. And number 3, because you have disrespected and wished death on Minister Farrakhan and threatened to harm physically members of the Nation of Islam, because you have done all of these horrific things, I witnessed you in the ring doing your little Muay Thai. So I said thirdly, I will see you in the ring. Now, people are like, whoa, Brother Rizza, no. See, this is the real world. If somebody talks about your godfather, somebody talks about your grandfather, somebody talks about your grandmother, somebody talks about all of that, young Pharaoh, you work for the government, sir. Shaka bars. I don't know much about you, but so far, I think you might be working for the government too. And I'm pulling you into my network now because I'm going to crush you with your lies. Either you come correct, you apologize for what you have been doing, you start to really help the people, or you will be called out. You will be checked all the way. And I mean what I say. Don't play with the lives of the people. Don't play with the lives of the people. The people cannot be played with. You can't play with the lives of these people out here. We are dying every day. We are dying every day, and you are going to sit here and tell me you want to sit here and fight the nation and fight all these other groups. And you're a joke. And anybody else who wants to open their mouth, you're a joke. You're a joke. And you work for the enemy, whether if you know it or not, whether if you work directly on the payroll or if you work indirectly off the payroll, but are perpetuating the same lies. You're a joke. And I'll say the same thing I'm saying right now to your damn face. See me in the ring for all of the horrific things you have said, young Pharaoh, in a friendly match, in a martial arts match. No, seriously, your Muay Thai versus my Jeet Kune Do. I've been training for a number of years. I don't need to say how many because that doesn't really matter now. You talking like you a big grown man. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do that. If you turn down the match, shut your damn mouth. Take down everything that you have said about Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Take it down. Stop talking. And I say this to anybody. Stop talking. Get in the trenches and help the people. Shut your mouth and help the people. Open your mouth loud about the enemy. Talk about the enemy. Do that. But do not keep opening your mouth about none of the black organizations that are truly helping the people, because all you're doing is demonstrating that you work for this enemy and you ain't trying to help the people. Very simple. Everybody all right? So make sure you're okay, because this is a soldier talking now. I've been very peaceful at the very beginning of this whole ordeal and how it was happening, and over and over and over, and gave people mercy. And it's like, look, man, just stop doing that, okay? Just apologize. All right, cool. We don't have to agree. All right, we don't agree, fine. But don't say you want to hurt somebody and kill people. That is not something to joke about, because there are people in the street. There's Bloods, there's Crips, there's GDs, there's native tribes who will get with them bow and arrows. No, I'm serious. There are people. There are people all over this planet, man, who will want to hurt you because of what you say about Minister Farrakhan. And I am doing my best to help you to not fall under that. I'm trying to protect you by giving you mercy and warning you. There are people who we can't control. There are people who are not in the Nation of Islam at all, but who love Minister Farrakhan. And they will do some things to people like that. They will hurt you. And I won't be able to, I won't know what will happen, who will do, I won't know. I'm just saying this as a warning. Stop, just stop, man. It's supposed to be love between all of us. It's supposed to be love between the black organizations, the original melanated people. That is what this is supposed to be about. Unity among the melanated people. Harmony among the melanated people. Unity, harmony, us coming together and fighting against this system. That's all it's supposed to be about. Stop being on this goddamn social media talking reckless, as though you can back up what the hell you're saying. You can't back up a goddamn word of what you're saying. Stop doing it, because you put yourself into a hole to where we can't even protect you. There are things y'all saying that I can't protect you. If somebody says something to you, learn when people love you for real. All right? Because that's what I'm demonstrating. I have more love for you than you hate yourself and your own people. I say that about young Pharaoh. I say that about Shaka Bars. I say that about anybody who was opening their mouth about the nation, saying all this negative stuff. I have love for you, but I don't have love for the things that you've said. Shaka Bars, I'm going to say this really quick because this is going to get to you fast, and I pray you're on here. Maybe not. This is going to get to you. Brother, you have an accent. You're not from here. You're not a Negro from the hills of the wilderness of North America. You don't know how things go down out here. You were not there when Brother Malcolm was assassinated. You have never been a member of the Nation of Islam. You are not a part of the Nation of Islam. I don't think you've ever even attended a mosque meeting in the Nation of Islam. I don't know. But I recommend you, brother. You have a very bad record. Very bad record. Okay? Very bad record. I've heard so many negative things about you, but I've never listened to them because I want to see for myself. I treat people with respect. And the way we operate in the Nation of Islam is we do not comment unless we have actual facts. We do not comment unless we have actual facts. That's how we operate. If we ain't got the actual facts, we're not going to be out here bumping off at the mouth. That's not how we roll. We're not going to be doing that. Same thing with young Pharaoh. Recycling PowerPoint slides from Sarah Sutanseti that were debunked years ago in his debate against Dr. Wesley. Literally, young Pharaoh recycled all of the same slides, all of the same information that he got from Sarah Sutanseti that was debunked, destroyed, disproven by Dr. Wesley. It's real. It's sad. It's sad. You're a cornball. Like, you're really sad. You're sad. I mean, oh man. Anyway, I'd like to teach you as a brother. As a brother. Bloods and Crips know how the hood works. Church folk know how church works. Muslims know how things work, but everybody has one code, which is respect. And respect is something that everybody needs to learn. I don't care what group you're a part of. I give you respect. I give you respect until you demonstrate to me why I can't. I give you respect. So I'm just saying this to you and to everybody who talks about Minister Farrakhan, or matter of fact, anybody who talks about any leader of any black organization, but you don't want to help them. If you talk about leaders of any black organization, by the way, since Shaka just went live, tell him to come on live with me and stop jumping on to say something and talking somewhere else. Tell him to come on my live if he's going to talk. We're going to talk like men. I'm going to correct him and teach him right now. We're not running no more. You confront your brothers. You talk to each other. That's what you do. That's how we handle business. Don't be over here running and trying to say anything negatively about people, because that's not how we get things done. You see what I'm saying? As of right now, we don't do things like that. The way we handle business is this. Brothers come talk to brothers. You got a problem with your brother? Pull your brother to the side and talk to him. You got a problem with your sister? Pull your sister to the side and talk to her. And if you don't talk to me, but you talk about me, if you don't talk to me, but you want to talk about the Nation of Islam, you don't talk to me, but you want to talk about Brother Malcolm, you don't talk to me, but you want to talk about Brother Ben, Dr. Wesley, Minister Farrakhan, Brother Nuri. If you try to get around me and talk about us, you won't get very far, because the enemy is after all of us, and that's what you're not getting. Yeah, the enemy's after all of us, and that is what you're not getting. We are the FOI, Fruit of Islam, military training of the men that belong to Islam in North America. And I'm telling you, we have a specific code in the way we operate. We don't operate on that he say, she say nonsense, that divide and conquer mentality, that insanity. That is not how we operate. That's how the enemy operates. Young Pharaoh, out of love, brother, I'm going to say this again to you. You're going to see me in the ring, or you're going to make a full apology. Don't do no more damn videos. Call me. Call me. Stop making these goddamn videos. Shaka Bars, don't get on here making no damn videos about me, Minister Farrakhan, or any one of us in the Nation of Islam. You message me directly since you commented publicly regarding Brother Malcolm, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. Since you did that, you will have to face your brother, because you're in my generation. So we are going to have words together. I'm going to correct you, and I'm going to teach you about things that you just don't know. So I don't want to fight physically when it comes to young Pharaoh, but clearly y'all ain't seen the videos that he put up. So that's the last resort. And of course, that's because that's two martial artists. Okay, that's two martial artists. Ain't got nothing to do with no hood. I want to beat them up. No. Two martial artists. Because he went outside of the boundaries of debate. He went outside, literally outside of the boundaries of debate, outside of the boundaries of education. He went into literally threatening physical harm to Minister Farrakhan, threatening physical harm to believers in the Nation of Islam, threatening physical harm to people. And because of that, he must face the consequences in that area, which is a simple few rounds with his brother as a martial artist, which is perfectly okay, right? In the hood, that's the same thing. You got something that you got to get off your chest with your brother. All right, y'all get in the gloves and y'all hash it out. After that, y'all hug and it's it. It's over. That's how it is. I know some of y'all are very shocked to hear this coming from Brother Rizza, but I'm not taking this crap. You use this day, which Brother Malcolm was supposed to be resting in peace, because this is one of the most painful days, not just in the Nation of Islam, but one of the most painful days for all of us as a melanated original people. That's what it is. It's very painful. And none of y'all followed Malcolm. None of you were following his teaching. Most of you smoke. Most of you drink. Most of you disrespect, put down, and misuse and abuse women. Malcolm would not be rolling with none of y'all. None of y'all could roll Malcolm. None of you could. To this day, if you were trying to roll with him, he would not roll with you. Because you don't follow what he teaches, nor what he does, nor how he operates. Do you eat more than one meal a day? You couldn't roll with Malcolm. I'm just telling you. So when you talk, just know you are disqualifying yourself for many different things, including receiving help from us. You just got to stop. So any one of them, and by the way, this video is going to get around. I know that. Young Pharaoh's going to try to say something. The moment Young Pharaoh says anything negative, the moment Shaka Bars says anything negative, all you need to do is you need to just blast their entire comment page with confront Rizza, face Rizza, message Rizza, call Rizza. Young Pharaoh, you got my number. I mean, literally, you have my number. And so I just don't see why you haven't called me. See, that is, boy, it's that cowardly stuff, man. Just stop with the nonsense. Call me. You have my number. Like a man. Face me like a man and stop talking. Shaka Bars, message me. Message me like you did last week, talking about, oh, brother, I love what you're doing. We should do some things together. No. I'm not doing a damn thing with you until you can prove that you are for the people. If you're for the people, yes, I'm with you. But if you're not for the people, I don't want to do nothing with you. No, sir. That I don't want. No. So let us do that, family. Let's do that. And I appreciate you. Love all of y'all. But I had to call out the real from the fake. And I have to go ahead and set the record straight, because some people just don't get it when they have mercy being given to them and they want, they have their brothers giving them love, which is what I was doing. Love and mercy, and of course, all of this, giving all these different things. I have all of that for them. I don't want no negative things to happen to Young Pharaoh, to Shaka Bars, to nobody who says anything negative about the nation. I don't want harm to come to any of them. I'm speaking honestly to you. That's not what I want. This enemy is who my attention is on. This enemy is who needs to be brought down. This system has to be brought down, and we have to come up with our own and do our own thing as a people. That is where my energy is. It's almost 420 people watching me live right now, and every one of you are listening to me. I'm not at all promoting that anybody comes to any harm. What I am saying is we have to come together. It's just that simple. Stop attacking your own people, please. Just stop. Stop attacking your own people. And I'm saying this on a local level, national, international. Stop attacking your own people, because the enemy is watching you, and they record who attacks who, and then they find out how they can use your group of followers against the other people's group of followers and cause more division. Then when somebody gets hurt, then they blame it on you. They blame it on Rizza. They blame it on, Shaka Bars, Young Pharaoh, Minister Farrakhan. They blame it on all of us because we're not being responsible. We're not being responsible. So you see here? 1 second. Okay, brother Shaka Bars, if you're in, please request to go live with me. I'm looking to see in the queue here, but I don't see your name. Yeah, I don't see him yet. I see Young Pharaoh's in here.
They supporting you, but they hate you.
Okay, there we go. Record this.
Wagwan.
Peace, how are you?
Yeah, man, what's all this challenge talk?
Oh, no, the challenge isn't for you. The challenge is for Young Pharaoh. There was something dealing with him that we have already done over.
People
As far as that goes.
my life telling me that there's some challenge or something. I didn't say there was. I just wanted to reason with you because as people we reason. We don't shout and
Exactly. Very true. Now, the comment and with you is something very specific, just one thing with you. But with Young Pharaoh is a whole lot more. So that whole challenge thing is dealing with him. But with you, the comment you made on my page, brother, and thank you for coming on here to go live with me. This is my first time talking to you. Our first time seeing some of your work. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I've seen what I have seen, and I appreciate and I'm honored what I have seen. Now, and I've heard a lot of negative things about you from people, but of course we know how that goes. People talk. And I said, I'll just watch my brother and see what he's doing. Now, when you made the comment under the video dealing with Brother Minister Farrakhan calling for the files to be open, dealing with Brother Malcolm X, Sister Elias Shabazz, Brother Malcolm X's daughter, one of his daughters, and Baba Dick Gregory, may Allah be pleased with him, who stated at the very end of that video, don't tell me nothing about no black Muslims, because the CIA rented the Audubon Ballroom, and the bullets came from a downward trajectory rather than an upward, meaning the people who were shooting, if they were the black brothers down there, why didn't the bullets go into the body?
I'm not debating that. I know the CIA.
No, I know. But your point, which I understood what you meant, the way we characterize our fallen soldiers, I'm an FOI in the Nation of Islam, okay? We are a military. So there is a way we communicate. The same way everyone communicates out of respect for, the fallen soldiers or ancestors, etc. Right? We have a way of communicating out of a level of respect. The statement you made specifically that rubbed me the wrong way was when you thank you, God. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your trainer?
Here we go. On a windy day, name something a man might use to keep his comb over in place.
Gel, Steve.
Shut me down.
Wow.
Okay, Instagram shut me down like they did already again. Let's do this one more time. Shaka, come back in. Instagram shut me down. Instagram shut me down. Shaka, come back in. This is the second time tonight. Shaka, come back in. No, Instagram, they cut it off just like they did before about 15 minutes ago. Everybody bring Shaka back in. Come on, brother. This is Instagram's second time shutting me down tonight. So let us not get it twisted. No, Brother Rizza did not run. Brother Rizza did not run when he started playing Minister Farrakhan's words. I want him to play Minister Farrakhan's words. I want you to pull out everything that you think is evidence. Please, because you're going to learn and be corrected. I'm going to support and back up every word of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and you will witness exactly how things need to be done. So Shaka, please come back in, brother, because I want you to finish that video clip of Minister Farrakhan. Someone tell him to come back in. I don't see him here, but please tell him to come back in because he needs to be corrected. And after this, I pray everyone learns exactly how you are supposed to operate as it pertains to respecting other groups, other organizations, other people. Have respect for one another. Have respect. You don't have to agree. We don't have to agree. We should respect. Okay, good. Here he is. Says amen right now. Okay. Yeah, Instagram, this is their second time shutting me down tonight. That was their second time shutting me down tonight. Go back to the clip and play it, because unlike other people, I do apologize if you thought I was running from that. Play it again. I know every clip, by the way, of Minister Farrakhan and his words about Brother Malcolm. But go ahead and play it, because I want everyone to listen to what it is that you are doing. So play it, and then I'm going to go ahead and correct you.
God has made me a better man for you than Malcolm X. I'm standing where Malcolm would have stood if he had the character to stand where. And frankly, it ain't none of your business. What did you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor, or was he out? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell's business is it of yours?
Everybody listen. Keep listening. Don't be emotional, family. Listen.
Okay, so there's a few clips. There's a few clips, but that's one of them. So I'm waiting to hear what to say.
Absolutely. Number one, brother, I am a member of the Nation of Islam. Let's make this very clear. When you're making these clips, playing them, pardon me, because you didn't make that one. But when you're playing these clips, for those who watch your channel, they don't know how the Nation of Islam works, but I'll just make it very clear and very easy for them to understand. Number one, nothing he stated in there was a lie, even according to Brother Malcolm's mouth and words himself. Brother Malcolm told the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I quote, "Brother, you are a better man than I am myself," end quote. He spoke to and taught and mentored the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother Malcolm mentored once again and spoke to and taught the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother Malcolm X, Al-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, is and was a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There would be no Malcolm X if there were no Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Everything that Malcolm X has talked about, everything that he spoke on, he was taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Next point. When you heard Minister Farrakhan say, "God has made me a better man than Malcolm," was he lying? Well, let us look at it today. As of right now, Minister Farrakhan, the only man to call for 1 million men or 1 million people to come to Washington, D.C. 1995, over 2 million showed up. A couple years later again, he called for 1 million, over 1 million showed up. A couple years later again, he called for 1 million, over 1 million showed up. 10, 15.
What did that achieve?
1 second. Brother, I'm glad we're talking right now. Number one, 1995, hundreds of babies were adopted. Number again, 1995, many. I don't have the exact number because there's so many different things, but you can go on NOI.org and you can check out the number of enrollments. No, of course, but right now we're talking about the Nation of Islam. See, another thing I'm not going to deal with, I don't do deflection, I deal actual facts. You asked me a question. What did the Million Man March achieve? 4 different times, by the way. 10, 15 that I wear on my wrist, justice or else, that I was at personally, in person, 2015, over 1 million people again. What did that achieve? Tons of organizations that I personally work with came together united. Native American tribes came together and united, ended over 100-year wars, and helped to provide jobs for us black folks over here. Number 3, Bloods and Crip gangs in Los Angeles ended wars that I was a part of orchestrating, brought tons of jobs called the United Hood Nations on 83rd and Vermont at the community center. We helped to bring hundreds of jobs to brothers and sisters who are felons who couldn't get a job. We helped to get food and clothing to hundreds, or pardon me, thousands of brothers and sisters who could not get it, etc., etc., etc. This is the problem, brother, and I'm going to keep going with people who watch things on social media, YouTube, etc., but you're not there. I, Brother Rizza, am from Compton, California. A lot of these works that I'm talking about happen in Los Angeles, Compton, New York, Atlanta, etc. And I have been part of all of them.
I wasn't questioning that it didn't achieve anything. I was genuinely asking that I wasn't there.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're being genuine, because most people who ask that question are not. So thank you for being genuine. Because
my ego is not that big. I'm more interested in truth than I am in.
Well, if your ego is not that big, brother, and let me make sure you are being a man of your word. If your ego were not that big, you would not make the huge mistake of perpetuating the same lies that the same white man who you speak against has made. When you said that Minister Farrakhan was a part of the F word, when it pertains to Malcolm X being murdered, and you said Brother Malcolm, who was a
Farrakhan. I said Elijah Muhammad, and what I was saying was the secretaries that he was having babies with.
1 second. Don't say Elijah Muhammad made them wives. He was married to those women. They spoke on YouTube. You can go and look up the video where they spoke themselves. Fact. You have to make sure you know the facts before you are speaking. Number two.
Were they married when he got them pregnant?
Yes. 100%.
And how
yes.
old were they?
3 different ages, I believe 19. Let me not speak on the other 2. I won't speak on the other 2 because I don't know exactly what age when they actually consummated and had a child. I don't know the exact 2 ages, but you can go watch their statements yourself on YouTube. YouTube, Elijah Muhammad's wives speak. Just do that. Okay, and once again, don't listen to Brother Rizza, listen to the wives. Next point, the statement you made, the comment that you made under my video, where there were 3 different clips proving, along with a list of facts that I listed, dealing with Malcolm X not being assassinated by the Nation of Islam, you stated a few things, but the main thing I looked at was how you said Brother Malcolm, who was a greater man than Lewis and Elijah. Brother, number 1.
I said for Africa, globally, that's what I said.
But brother, you're wrong. You're actually factually.
I've been to Africa, has Elijah and has Louis Farrakhan, and what has been done in Africa by those people.
Number 1, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, yes, has been. Number 2, the honorable Minister Farrakhan, yes, has been multiple times. The honorable Minister Farrakhan was deputized as a general over 45 Islamic nations under Colonel Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. I'm sure you've heard of him, one of the African leaders. Brother Minister Farrakhan has been dubbed multiple titles over multiple nations. Watch the recent Savior's Day address towards the very end, where he shows the different titles that he was given from different Muslim leaders, where he was given certain staffs, certain jackets, certain swords of authority of one of the sheikhs over in Nigeria, one of the head sheikhs, the Buddha sheikh, or the sheikh of sheikhs. He was given his staff of authority. Wait, brother, wait a minute. I'm educating because you don't know. Minister Farrakhan.
I'm not interested in titles. Like, I'm interested in what.
No. I agree. No. And I'm educated.
You can go to Africa now, and there'll be a whole heap of men come out and give you titles, and this guy.
Of course.
Of course.
But brother,
I don't care about titles and men celebrating.
No. If you were interested in groundwork, you let the brother in the nation whom you disrespected to educate you about the work that we're doing. We have Nation of Islam locations in Jamaica. We have Nation of Islam location in Ghana. We have one in Nigeria. We have them in the UK. We have them in Haiti, all over.
I've been to the one in the UK. I've spoken at the Nation of Islam in the UK. I know.
Oh, good. So if you know, then you would know how to address. Once again, you're proving right now, brother, that you directly disrespected and you intentionally disrespected just by the way you commented under my post. I do apologize, brother. So I hear you. But at the same time, even if it were someone who you follow or a nation that you belong to, etc., whatever it is you're a part of, I would be respectful in at least speaking, because the thing that you said reflected on the fact that you don't know the actual facts because the FBI files have not been released yet. So how can you anything dealing with Minister Farrakhan?
My opinion of Malcolm being a greater man than Minister Farrakhan or Elijah Muhammad, my opinion, which I'm entitled to.
Okay, thank you. Everyone heard, so that's your opinion. I appreciate that, brother. I definitely appreciate that. And when you said a part of the effery, okay, the fuckery, all right, as far as Brother Malcolm being assassinated, etc. When you made that statement, what proof do you have that Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam was a part of it? What actual solid proof do you have?
I don't have any solid proof or any solid evidence, but the rhetoric was that everybody at the time were against Malcolm X. They weren't coming out to protect him. They were the ones who were basically saying, no, it's okay for anybody to do whatever they want to him, or we'll do it to him. So that's why it seems like they were a party to him. They didn't try and defend him.
I can clear that up.
Protect him.
I can clear that up.
Yeah.
No, I can clear that up for you. In the Nation of Islam, when you are silenced or you are sat down for 90 days, right? That's one of our rules in the nation. Every organization has its own rules. You're on probation for a week if you do this, you're on probation. You go to school, you'll be an academic probation for. Right? No.
I was in the army as well, but I was in the British Army, and I disobeyed the rules there. And then they tried to do certain things, but I was like, whatever, because
yeah. And I don't know how they operate in the British Army, but in the Nation of Islam, for instance, one of the simple policies is 90 days. If you do certain things that are disobeying or go against the rules, right, of our military. Everybody has military, but he did that. He commented on the assassination of John F. Kennedy, which every member, not just Malcolm, every minister was told not to comment on the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Why? Because Americans love John F. Kennedy. That's what they said. Very simple. The messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, was very wise, and he told all the members, do not comment on that. Don't do that. Brother Malcolm stepped out of ranks when he said this. He said, well, I think it's a simple case of the chickens coming home to roost. That was not okay. He disobeyed the authority. Everybody was told.
Did he leave the nation after that?
No. He, after a certain point, he was sat down multiple times, just so you know. He was told not to speak at this point, not to speak at this point. It was multiple times, okay, until he left. It led up to that. Until he left. And it wasn't that, he woke up and he found out that there are white Muslims in Mecca and he could go and pray with white Muslims and, I guess they're not devils because, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad lied to me. No, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching white Muslims around his table all the time. He was teaching white people constantly for years. So that was not true. Number two, he did not go to Mecca in Arabia before the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That also is not true. And three, he said, well, I guess, he told me no devils can go to Mecca. No, because devil or that name is a bad name after faith. If you are embracing the tenets of Islam, you embrace those core principles of Islam. This is what we teach, by the way. Then you can't call that person a devil if they are operating out of those righteous principles. Very simple. So that was a big lie. He got poisoned in Egypt. Malcolm did, and he said they are not members of the Nation of Islam. The people who poisoned me were not in the Nation of Islam. And the last point to just clear all this up, at the very end, he wasn't being protected. Why? Because he was not in the nation at the time. So that is what happened. But under his not being protected, right, from the enemy, the same white supremacist enemy from the CIA, FBI, who had been watching him for years, but have been watching the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 25 years. This is on YouTube. You can hear it as well. Brother Malcolm, wasn't being protected, but the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told every member of the Nation of Islam, do not touch Malcolm. Leave Malcolm alone. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that to all of the members, leave him alone. And in the Audubon Ballroom, when he was assassinated, the Audubon Ballroom, under Malcolm's call, under Malcolm's words, he said to not secure the door. And at that time, everyone knows, even he knew, that security, you must have someone checking the doorpost. You must have someone checking the people coming in and going out. You must make sure no weapons are coming in because the climate at that time was very high. So I'm not exonerating every member of the Nation of Islam. Everybody has envy and jealousy. I got people envious and jealous of me right now, probably in the nation and definitely people outside of the nation who are envious and jealous of me. However, who did the murdering? Who did the killing? That is where we need to really look at it and stop.
I'm not saying the nation did it. I'm saying that it appears to somebody outside of the nation that they were a party to it because of all of the rhetoric afterwards. Is that everybody was proud that he was dead.
No. Everybody was not proud that he was dead. Mind you, you nor I were alive back then. So let's make that very clear, right? So there are even things that I don't know still. There are things you don't know and things that I don't know still because we weren't alive at the time. However, what is known is when Brother Malcolm was murdered, assassinated, killed, Eugene Roberts was an agent. Eugene Roberts, by the way, you can look at Gene Roberts, Gene Roberts interview dealing with the murder of Malcolm X. He confesses the truth, talks about how he worked for the United States government, talks about how he was an agent, talks about all of this. That's on there as well on YouTube. You got to watch that because
I already watched that.
Oh, you watched? Oh, good, very good.
I was
So
in Ghana with his youngest daughter Malak, and I've been
good.
and spoken to Atala before as well, and I just feel like the way that Malcolm was moving was he had a global think mentality after, you know, he was Detroit Red, and then he was in the Nation, and then what he was starting at the end of his life was something that needs to continue. And it feels like to me that isn't continuing in any significant way for global unity, African unity. I, for one, am one to say that, you know, I respect people's religions, but I'm not interested in the religion before I'm interested in the people. Because there's many people who, you know, you wouldn't call religious in Congo, for instance, who are getting murdered so that we can have iPhones, right? And that's something that a lot of people not only are not speaking about, but they're not also putting their own bodies, their own times and resources to stop these things from happening. And it seems like you can be the man at the top of the mountain, right? Meditating and be spiritually awakened. You can be the group of people who are all looking out for each other as a small secular group. But what are we doing globally that transcends religion, that transcends class, that transcends gender for each other? And that's what I believe that Malcolm was doing when he was organizing the organization of Afro-American Unity after the organization of the African Union, African Unity, which, you know, order of the African became the African Union, which is just basically a subsidiary division of the UN, right? Which doesn't do anything for our people right now. And so there is nothing for me that is significant in the USA that is doing for us globally. Like, for instance, Ghana. I'm in Ghana regularly, right? Ghana doesn't know who they're going to go and speak to if they want to speak to all of the diaspora in North America. They might come and sit in the nation. They might go and speak to, you know, the gods and the earths. They might go and speak to NACCP, but there's no one organization. And I think that this is where we are divided, because when white people deal with us politically, they all deal with us the same. So when Ghana is speaking to white people, they're speaking to the continent of Europe. They're speaking to the continent of North America. They're not just speaking to Texas, right? They're not just speaking to Arkansas. All of those 50 whatever states are all dealing with Ghana. So they have all of this white inferiority dealing with them, right? And they all deal with, you know, individual Ghana, Gambia, South Africa. So when we African people globally, Jamaica, go and deal with the continent of North America, we are stuck because we are not dealing with these people as a united continent of Africans, a billion people, a united diaspora, South America, Central America, the Caribbean, and North America. We're dealing with them as Brooklyn or as New York. We're dealing with them as Panama or even Brazil. And I feel like that is why, for me, Malcolm was significant and very great, because his thinking, he said that ideas are bulletproof. His thinking has inspired many people to go forward and try and create this. But right now, it's something that we don't have. And it's a problem when we're trying to talk about transferring to and from Africa, because African leaders and African countries don't know who they're going to speak to when they speak to people in the diaspora. because they can't just speak to me because I'm one person. They can't just speak to the nation because that only represents a particular section of people. It doesn't represent everybody, even though you work with everybody. And so this is what I'm trying to get to. I'm not trying to, like, what I said maybe was emotionally charged, because I do feel like many black people in North America failed Malcolm X, and what he was doing was way ahead of his time. And if you watch what he was saying then, it's still relevant right now, right? And so that for me is, I'm not part and parcel to, you know, particular being the Messiah. I do believe that I do believe that Martin Luther King, I do believe that people from the MOVE organization, I do believe that the Black Panthers, there was too much of this bravado, and there was what Marcus Garvey, there was one person to go after, right? Or there was 10 people to go after, right? You can't go after the United States of America because it's the United States. And when I'm trying to figure out when we're going to get the United States of black people, the United States of the African diaspora. And so that's something that I'm working on right now, because I believe that is more important going forward in terms of economics, education, having political power. Like, we're still asking for justice from people whose whole system has been created on injustice. People whose whole economic prosperity has been created on the enslaving of my ancestors and the enslaving of your ancestors and the killing of the indigenous people in North America with the smallpox, so on and